Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Waiting for Instagram to pop up here. I don't know what's going on with it. There it goes.
I'm just sitting here staring, waiting on people to look at us instead of us just staring at each other.
Woo! Hello,
I do
hello,
wish
hello.
we had a live audience. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Straight out in front of us?
Yeah.
I
Sitting in
reckon.
chairs.
We do got a live audience.
Well, I mean, we could see them.
You like Honey?
Because they can see us and
I
it's
see
not
you.
fair.
What's Honey say?
I see you.
Can you see me?
Yeah. Honey plays peekaboo. So I got to tell y'all.
I see you. You see me?
I got to tell y'all a big fat lie.
Oh, goodness.
Before we get started.
What's that?
Well, the first thing is I got to say the lie first and then tell you what's going on.
All right.
It's March the 21st.
Yep.
At 4:00.
March the 21st.
I was so set earlier.
Oh,
I told both Mary Carl and Jason
today is. Why you thought it was March?
Today 21st. Is the first day of spring.
Mm-hmm.
It's the end of winter, and it's March the 21st.
Is it the first day of spring?
No.
March 21st is the first.
That's right. But today is not the 21st. What is today, Jason?
Today is the 19th.
That's right. I do not know why I thought that, but I was very convinced in my head that today was first day of spring.
Well, I was about to say, if it was the first day of spring, boy, winter went out with a bang because it's so around here.
Well, maybe that's what I was thinking.
Maybe so.
I don't know.
Winter was hanging on last leg last night.
And it's not like I watch news or anything like that, so I just came up with this out of nowhere. Just concocted it in my head.
Oh, goodness.
So apologize to y'all because it's not the first day of spring.
It's not the first day of spring.
Maybe the first day of spring will feel like the first day of spring.
First day of spring. It feels like first day of spring now.
No, it does not.
It is warm outside.
Jason, it's in the 50s, dear.
It's still warm compared to, I mean, it was 30-ish last night.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be warmer than 50s.
I don't know. It feels good. Thought it felt good.
Not to me.
Sun shining outside.
We need a little warmer temperatures for it to be spring. That's going to happen, hopefully.
It'll be here. It'll be here. We've had one. We was in the 80s just a couple of days ago.
It was. So. And I was feeling like it was short pants weather.
Yep. And even though it did get cold last night, I brought my seeds in, my little seedlings, and anything in the greenhouse, I was a little nervous. I left some things in the greenhouse, and they were completely fine. So everything's fine. The pigeons are fine. The animals are fine. We had to run to town. We've been busy today. Today's been a crazy. I didn't even know it was time. I didn't even know it was 3:30.
Let me tell y'all, Jason was up here downloading his files for his video tomorrow, and I said something about the live, and he said, "That's today, isn't it?"
Y'all, it's been a crazy. You'll see on tomorrow's video. We've been busy. We had to go run to town. We had to come back, and we had to
had things to do.
Had things to do is crazy. So much so, I have not even been able to do Longhorn Lester's water challenge. I have not been able to do that. He sent it to me this morning, and
well, maybe I should do it for you.
You can do it for me. We can do it together.
I don't have any problem drinking out of our waters.
Oh no, I don't.
However, there are a lot of.
I don't have any problem drinking out of our waters are clean. We clean our waters.
Well, you know why
daily,
we clean
if
our
not
waters?
Daily. Why?
Because we treat our animals how we would want to be treated.
Yeah, that's right.
And we don't want to drink nasty water.
We don't want to drink nasty water.
I mean, what if somebody served you up a glass of water that had sediment in the bottom of it? Yeah. What would you do? What would you think?
We pour it out.
We pour it out and we wouldn't drink it, and we would probably never go back to that person's house again.
That's right.
So,
today is the first day of spring, is what somebody just said.
I don't.
The spring equinox is the day, so technically it is the first day of spring.
But the first day of spring, I believe, is March the 21st. Let me look it up. Don't tell me if anybody It is today.
I thought
it is today because 2024 is a leap year.
I thought today was the first day of spring, but then you threw me off. Today is the first day of spring.
So
because of the leap year.
Okay. I'm so sorry I didn't tell y'all a lie, but it's not the 21st, which is, I don't know why I had the 21st in my head.
I don't know either.
Something is the 21st. Some kind of season change. Is it summer starts July the 21st, maybe? June 21st?
Don't get me into this now.
Something was the 21st.
Don't get me on.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. That's why we do these things.
Today's the first day of spring, and
I was only 50% telling a story.
And Mr. Wintertime tried to hang on last night around here. Now, I know there's a lot of y'all I saw earlier, and somebody in Minnesota said it's going to snow on Thursday.
Yeah, but, I kind of feel like if you're in Minnesota...
June the 21st starts summer. Go ahead.
That's it.
Yep.
I kind of feel like, I'm not knocking Minnesota by all means, but I feel like if I lived in Minnesota, I would expect
because
snow still in April, maybe.
Our average last frost date is March the 23rd.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, on average.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Catherine and I were talking about fruit trees, and she was contemplating covering hers up last night, and I told her, I said, there is always a freeze in April. But because there's a freeze doesn't mean there's frost.
Right. And it's a lot to do with
how long it stays.
It was been so warm, and then all of a sudden, so there's a lot to do in this over my head, because we saw the peach farmer, one of the main peach farmers today at the feed store, because we had to go to town today. And he said the peaches were fine.
Peaches are fine. So, that was our main holding our head last night.
Yeah, we were worried about the peach farmers around here.
So many depend on that crop. And last year was so bad that this guy didn't even open up his retail store. Yep. He had nothing to sell.
Right.
So, that's saying a lot about what happened last year versus where we are right now.
And it looks like it's going to be a banner crop for them this year, unless something crazy happens. It looks like they're going to have a nice year to make up for last year, and they need it.
And the next 7 days are looking good, so that we'll be close to being out of the month of March at that point.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
And if it gets down to 32 in April, it has happened before. It's just those prolonged below freezing temperatures like what happened last year.
That's right. We're good too. I saw somebody say that the spring equinox is tomorrow in the UK, so awesome. That's nice to know. I figured it would be a little bit different there, but not too much.
Nope, not too much.
Not too much. I wonder what it is in Australia. What season? Because I saw somebody from Australia on here. What season is it in Australia right now?
Well, that Mary Carl told me that the only country that season is different than us is
Australia.
Our only continent, I should say, is Australia.
I knew it was different.
So
they're different. That's where they determine the flu. How bad the flu is going to be, because Australia.
Well, you saw what I was talking about.
You said emus.
Yeah, that's what I think about automatically when I hear Australia. I think of emus.
It's fall in Australia.
Okay. Well, our friend Gail that works at Petals from the Past.
That's right.
She recently got back from a trip from Australia.
She did,
and she was telling us how nice the weather was.
She thought it was amazing. It was absolutely phenomenal there.
When I told Mary Carl that Miss Gail was going to Australia, I really think she might have hopped on that plane and gone with her.
I think she would have gone with Gail.
I think she would have. And she didn't she didn't really know her that well, but she went with her because she wants to go really bad.
Spring starts in the Bermuda tomorrow.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, y'all, I apologize. I just got a little bit off today.
Yep.
Obviously, I heard somewhere that the first day of spring was today. Had to have been on the radio.
I heard it somewhere too. That's why I got thrown
it
off. It
had to have been on the radio, because that's the only thing I listened to.
It had to have been on the radio.
So.
Yep.
I just wanted to squeeze in a little closer.
I don't mind.
I don't really know what I was doing.
I don't mind at all.
Oh, goodness.
I don't mind at all. But I am going to do I may try to do it this evening. When we get through with this, and I got to download my files.
While they're downloading, you can do that.
I can go do. And if you don't know, Lester has challenged the farms and homesteads that do social media to drink out of their animals' waters.
That's right.
And so I was like, that's easy.
That's easy.
Which one? Do I need to do all of them or just pick one? Because they're all clean. I don't care which one it is. I don't care.
Don't know.
It doesn't matter to me at all.
We'll just have to pick
You know who does that? I've seen him do it before.
Who?
Joel Salatin.
Really?
I've seen him drink out of his cow's water several times.
Well, you don't want nasty stuff
That's right.
going in your system.
That's right. But I have seen Joel Salatin drink out of his waters. Sure have.
How about that?
I saw somebody earlier ask about putting goldfish in the waters. And I've seen that some farmers have done that in the past because I have read that before.
Mm-hmm.
But I would worry about raccoons or possums eating them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how dirty a fish aquarium gets.
I was just thinking, I don't know if that'd be a good idea because...
So I don't know how that works.
I
don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works either, but I will tell you this. Just in the pasture where Moody and his two goat buddies are.
Mo and Joe.
Mojo. Y'all, I mean, we obviously clean out their water every day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's easy because they drink so much.
Oh, yeah, they drink a lot.
They drink so much. So it's not like you're emptying out a whole trough.
Yep.
You know, you clean it out once and then you squirt it out every day, and every now and then you have to hit it with a brush, but it stays clean that way.
It does stay clean.
And they drink so much.
They say that
whole lot.
Walker Farm puts goldfish in his stock tank.
Is that right?
Yep.
Huh. Well, it must work then.
It
must be some kind of purpose to it, but you know, it's probably takes when you see a fish tank that's dirty, it's mainly green. It's not like you don't see dirt floating around.
But I think a fish poo.
Well, I guess you're right. I don't know.
That's what I think about.
I didn't think about that.
I think
Gary and Cassie might not want to take that challenge.
Oh no! Oh no!
They might not want to. They might not want to drink that fish stuff, but it probably does do a job in keeping the. I don't know.
I said it was Ranger's pets. That makes sense.
Okay.
You know, we put it in a fountain we had.
Yeah, we had
But either the ducks or a raccoon ate them.
It didn't take long.
It didn't take long. They were gone.
And we wouldn't want to have drank out of that witch's pot either because we kept it clean, obviously. Right. But we had a frog that literally was, bigger than my head.
It was a big old bullfrog.
We've talked about him before.
Burl.
B-U-R-L.
Burl.
Did you call him Burl?
I said Burl.
Oh.
Burl with a B.
I don't know if Burl is still alive or not, but it got to a point where we quit seeing him.
Yeah.
So what's a frog's predator? Snakes? What else?
That's a good question. I don't want to. I mean, I've seen a chicken get it, but not that big.
I was fixing to say, there's not a chicken on this planet that could eat, unless you call Nugget a chicken.
I don't think Nugget would eat a frog.
Well.
But I have seen a chicken eat a frog.
Oh, I've seen chickens running with frog legs sticking out of their mouth.
I'm telling y'all, we are so thankful that chickens are small.
Yes.
Because it would be Jurassic Park over again.
If we fell down out there and passed away, they would definitely take care of us in a mere instant.
Yeah, they would.
It wouldn't take but Ryan to say, does it still have a heartbeat?
Yeah.
Does it still have a heartbeat? And then it's on. Cats.
Hawks eat frogs. I could see a hawk eating a frog.
A cat our cats couldn't eat that frog.
I'd take a big cat.
Look, if I saw Tucker with that frog in her mouth.
It was as big as Tucker.
It was as big as Tucker.
Oh, goodness.
Hawks.
Herons, blue herons.
Yeah, that's true. And we had a heron that frequently.
Blue heron can eat a gopher.
What? Wowzers.
Can you imagine?
You know, we had a blue heron that pretty much lived in our creek when we were at the old farm. Mm-hmm. It was kind of camouflaged because it was riprap, which is big rocks. Like everybody knows what riprap is, but big rocks on our banks. And when she or he was standing in those rocks, it blended in very well.
He did.
But we got to where every time we headed out, we would stop on that bridge and we would look to see if the heron was there. And just about always it was there. So maybe that heron had Burl for breakfast.
I've seen this, and I told you about it earlier. And that is that I need to ask Lester about it. And he hadn't brought it up to me, but is that he supposedly got a snake in his house. And that he might have to hire you out with your sniffer and see if you can sniff that snake out.
Well, all right.
Because I know you can smell them.
So did I get on the next plane to Houston or what?
Hey, if I pick you up.
Pick me up at the airport.
Lester would pick you up at the airport.
I'm having a hard time flying these days.
Or Jamie.
I might better take my car.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to take me a while, so.
That's a good little haul over there for us.
It sure is. About 8, 9, 10 hours, something like that.
I want to say that Daniel may be closer to us than Lester.
Daniel's closer to Lester than we are to Lester.
Yeah, but aren't we closer to
Jason? I don't know.
I was thinking, no, Daniel don't live where the Oklahoma Expo was.
No.
So that would have been a 10-hour, 12-hour drive.
I told y'all the trip to Kentucky that Mary Carl and I went on. I felt so out of sorts with the rest of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like and this includes you because you didn't go with us, but I feel like we're missing out on so much.
Yeah, there's a lot to see.
There's a lot to see. And we get so familiar with our own surroundings that we don't realize that in our own country.
That's right.
There's so much difference.
It really is.
We were listening to the radio on the way to town, and the lady that was the DJ was talking about somebody that said y'all in a comment on somebody's band that was from England, and she was kind of making fun of it. She was like, "You don't say y'all to a band in England." And I said, well, our followers that are from England knows they know what y'all means.
They know what y'all means.
But, and I've said this before, is you realize how small of a world you live in when you don't get out of Alabama much.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe most of you stick around your own place too, but it's just, there's much more to the world than Alabama. I don't know what brought that up.
I don't know what brought that up either. I was
how far it is to Houston?
Oh, that's right.
To Lester's.
That's right. It's a gardener snake, green snake, and it said Jamie refuses to sleep over there until the snake's caught.
Well,
I think I got that right.
Let's see if we can't find this picture.
Of you?
You just wait a minute.
Do you got it?
Somewhere. Just keep talking.
I'll keep talking. I saw somebody ask, "Were we going to the expo?" We are not going to the expo. It's really hard for us to leave because, number one, our farm help or our farm sitters would be in Oklahoma as well. That's Chestnut Hills. They're going to the expo. They're actually volunteer working over there. So it'd really be hard for us to leave to go there. And we can't fly because Brooke gets very sick flying. And we're kind of worried about Brooke's health right now. So
yeah, I don't know that it would be a good idea if I hopped off and went on a plane anywhere right now, but I'm going to get better.
You're going to get better.
And I can't find the picture I'm looking for, but let me keep looking.
Did you look on your pictures?
It's not in.
You typed in snake?
I typed in snake on my regular pictures.
Oh, I got you.
I know it's on here, though. I just don't know how to look.
That's right. But we will be at Pedals from the Past.
Yeah, it's right down the road from us. We can take our car and sleep in our own bed and do all that good kind of stuff.
That's right. We'll be on Pedals from the Past for a meet and greet on April 20th.
I know where.
And hope to see many of you guys there.
Jason, find it for me.
Brooke's looking for a picture of herself holding a gardener snake that we caught here.
You call it a gardener snake?
Garter or gardener. Some people do call them garden snakes.
I know. I was trying to remember what you said earlier today that was so out of whack. Do you remember? Oh, yeah. What did you call it?
I can't remember what I called it. What circumference? That didn't what come out my mouth.
No. We get in big trouble. I can't find it.
Oh, goodness.
I can't find it.
That was 2 or 3 years ago.
It was here.
Yeah, it was here.
So, Jamie, if you're listening, don't be scared of a green snake. They're not going to get you. It was actually the first snake that I ever picked up.
Yeah.
And we were here on this farm. We weren't living here yet, I don't think. We were just doing some work.
Yeah.
And it was the first green snake I had seen in the wild, like slithering around. And McCall was fascinated with it. And so I just picked him up and held him in my hand and took a quick picture and let him go.
Somebody said Jamie's the one that let it in the house.
Okay, now that's weird. She let it in the house, but she didn't want to sleep in there.
Well, the comments are going so fast, so I don't know the snake story yet.
Okay.
I don't know the snake story yet.
Well, you got to drink your water before you can find out about the snake story. One step at a time,
I had
buddy.
to drink. Yeah, I have to drink the Lester's water challenge.
That's right. That's right.
Before I do that.
That can be done. Can be done.
Yes, absolutely.
So let me tell y'all what happened. If you saw the last video, you saw that we collected a lot of stuff from our animals to be examined for parasites.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought Dr. D was going to come. The weather got bad. He wasn't able to make it that day and just ran out of time. So I ran the fecals over to him. And if you guys have been following us for very long, you know that Dr. D was out of the country last year. He got back in January, and we're so excited to have him back. But I had his address in my phone from where we had communicated previously. And so I told him I was dropping the fecals off, and he said, "Thank you so much." And I went to his house. The garage door was open. So I get my Ziploc bag because I've got them all individually down in one big Ziploc bag. And they're all labeled.
They're all labeled individual.
But it's still, it was still not pretty.
Yeah.
So I get out and it's raining and Mary Carl's with me. I go into the garage and I see some things that didn't look familiar to me the last time I was there. But then again, I saw a couple of things that did look familiar, such as a big, giant dry erase board.
Yeah.
With the name Jones written on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a door right off the garage.
Yep.
I open the door up. There's a refrigerator in there, which is what was there last time.
The last time you dropped some samples off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, so I dropped the samples on the ground beside a little cooler. And I go back to my car and I get right about to the door. Mary Carl says, "Mama, there's somebody." And I look back and I said, "Oh, hey." And it was a lady. And she said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yes, I was just leaving these fecals for Dr. D."
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, Dr. D doesn't live here anymore." And I said, "Oh, well, I just left you a big Ziploc bag full of some samples over there.
Some manure.
That I probably need to go gather." And so we both got a little laugh out of it. And she told me the correct address.
Yep.
But he's so busy and he's so on the go that he didn't even think that I might not have the correct address. But I got him to him. And
oh, goodness.
Y'all will see more about that later. But
yes.
I was happy to have finally found the correct address, because wouldn't it have been something, just a little something, if I had left that there without her coming outside?
Oh, yes.
Reckon what she would have thought.
I don't know what she would have thought.
When she picked up that garbage bag and she saw a lot of stuff in there.
She probably would have blamed it on her children.
She probably would have. And she probably wouldn't have forgave them anytime soon.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, y'all.
Sorry about the bags of poop.
I got a little tickled at myself. And
Whoopsie. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I never did tell Dr. D that I went to the wrong house. It just wasn't in our communication.
Oh,
he didn't have time to listen to me say I'd left him at the wrong house. But I'll tell him, because he's still coming here.
He's still coming. Yeah, we need him to come. He's still coming
here.
here.
I guess when you go out of the country for a year for your work,
yeah,
you get behind 2 years on your veterinary medicine.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because, his first job, he works for the state of Alabama.
Right.
His second job is a vet. So what he does is on his own time, not state time.
Right.
And so basically he's juggling 2 jobs. And
thank goodness he is.
Oh, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful.
So thankful.
I was so scared to say every time I thought about it that our vet's out of the country.
Now, I will say
nothing happened, thankfully.
We luckily did find another vet.
Yes, during that time. But they don't do house calls like he does. No.
And I don't know if they even, I think if we had a sick cow or goat, they would look at it. That's the type of vet they are. They would give it all they got. Yeah. But I don't think they would come here and look at it. We'd have to get it to them.
Are you referring to the lady that looked at Joe?
No. Well, I liked her too.
But she's not there
anymore. I'm talking about the one that looks at Miracle's birds.
Oh yeah. She would, but she's a very busy lady.
Yep.
She's got a lot going on,
Yep.
and that clinic is always hopping. So like. It's kind of the difference in Dr. D. He seems to work with mainly large animals.
Yeah, he's a livestock.
Whereas Dr. French, she'll see birds.
Right.
And she'll see goats.
Yep.
And she'll see things like that.
Yep.
But you more times than none need to bring them to the office and make an appointment.
That's right.
So if we're an emergency, Dr. D is our best bet.
He's the man.
He's the man.
He is the man, and so thankful. So I got the lowdown on the snake.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was a pretty day
outside.
How
did you do that?
I was watching the comments.
Oh.
It's a pretty day outside, and she was gardening and left the door open because it's a beautiful day, and that's how the snake got in there. She didn't see the snake and say, "Hey, you want to come in for a glass of wine?"
I gotta show y'all another picture if I can find it.
Oh goodness!
So speaking of Jamie and letting a snake in the house, back when we lived at our old farm, we had a day like that where we were working in our backyard and we left the double doors open. Do you remember this, Jason?
Yeah, but that was almost 10 years ago.
Well, it was, but I'm still saying this is a uncharacteristic thing to come into the house.
See, there's Lester on here now. He says he's hiding out in the RV ever since Jamie let the snake in.
Oh, so he's the one that's scared of the snake.
I think both of them are.
No, Lester, you can't do that. I'll get there when I can.
Oh goodness, Brooke can sniff them out now.
I can sniff them out.
She can. I don't know what. She's got some special power.
But at least you know for a fact that it's not a poisonous snake. At least you know that part.
And I guess they can bite. Does a green snake even have teeth?
Yeah, that thing tried to latch onto me, but
did it?
I didn't let it. And I'm not going to find this picture either.
That's an old one.
Yeah, Miracle was little, but I've got the picture because I've seen it before.
Yeah.
So we're working outside in the backyard, and we come back in the house to a racket, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. It sounded like it was upstairs. However, we found it in the foyer, and in the foyer, lo and behold, was a second-story window with what do you call it? What do you call the way that window was designed?
It was in a very high ceiling, and I don't know what you call it.
It was 2 stories high, and there was a arched window in the foyer. And we figured out real quick where that noise was coming from. Y'all, a hawk had gotten in our house.
And I do not know how, because the way our old house was where it was built on a hill. So it had to come down that hill all the way down in that. He must have been chasing something.
He must have been chasing my Yorkies because...
Nah, he wasn't chasing them. I think he was chasing a bird.
I don't know what he was chasing, but y'all, it was the biggest mess because the front door was only a single door, whereas the back doors were double doors. So to try to get that hawk back down to the first story to go through the den and
I
back
don't know
up,
how you did it. I don't know how you did it.
Well, I know that picture's here and it's easy to find usually. I've seen it not too long ago. Oh, goodness. Well, we'll find it one day. But it was a mess. It was a mess to say the least. Now, if it happened, we would be fascinated. But at the time, we were just
nervous.
Yeah. Jason, was Miracle even alive?
Yeah.
She was?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just about before she was born, so there's no way I'm going to
find it.
But anyway, we had a hawk in the house, and it was trying to get out through that window. You know, it saw the light, and it just constantly continued to hit the window. But lo and behold, somehow it got out.
Well, at least on the bright side with Lester, it's not a rattlesnake.
Well, that's what I was just thinking. I remember your mama one time before has had a rattlesnake in the house.
This is the truth. So... Not only did she have a rattlesnake in the house,
she shot through the floor, didn't she?
She shot the snake in the house and blew a hole in the floor.
Oh my goodness. Not good, Gene. Not good.
I don't think Daddy was too happy.
I think you and I were together when that happened.
Yeah, we were.
Where was it? In the foyer, wasn't it?
No, it had to be at the
downstairs?
At the other house.
What? What?
The house next door, because it's got a wooden floor in it.
Okay. Okay.
The house next door.
I thought you meant like your old house.
No,
and I was like, you were 3 then.
That one's on a concrete slab. It's some grandma's house next door.
She shot through the floor, but she killed the snake, didn't she?
She had to worry about it.
So, Jamie, if you see that snake, no matter how scared you and Lester are, do not shoot it.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot the snake.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh, so I mean.
But hey, I'm going to tell you, if I had a rattlesnake in my house and I knew it was in there, I don't know that I wouldn't do what Jean did.
Oh, bless her heart.
But the thing is I'm not a good shot, so it would take me more than one try.
Of course, Daddy was at work. You know, he was
at
at
work. She didn't know what else to do.
She didn't know what else to do. Oh, goodness gracious.
Next time she can call me because I got a snake catching stick. I wouldn't use it on a rattlesnake, though. I really couldn't.
Oh.
And you know as well as I do that when a poisonous snake feels threatened, they coil up and they can strike the length of their body.
Yeah.
So I don't blame her. I'd have done the same thing.
I just don't know what I would have done in that situation. Honestly, I really don't know. Oh my goodness.
You'd have run home and got the pistol and shot the snake right where it lies.
And my mind's saying that it wasn't even a pistol. I want to say she got the shotgun. That's why the hole was so big and messed up. But it was a mess.
Oh goodness.
I want to say it was a shotgun.
And that was after they had redone the house, wasn't it?
I think they had started on it.
Well, the house had the original heart pine floors in it. And so there were the big wide boards, that you just can't get anymore. So your daddy was probably thinking, how's he going to patch that big hole?
I don't know. My glasses are fogging up. Well, oh my goodness.
I just hope she kept him. Made your daddy a belt out of it or something.
I don't know what to do with it. Oh my goodness. I just remember Daddy not being happy about the situation.
I don't think he was.
Oh goodness gracious.
So since you know the snake's green and you know it's not poisonous, don't shoot the floor.
Don't shoot the floor.
Don't shoot the floor.
Don't shoot the floor. Oh my goodness.
I bet Dee Dee could find that snake.
I bet so. Lester's got a lot of dogs.
He does.
They could sniff the snake out.
I bet they could sniff it out.
I just don't know. Huh.
Interesting.
Oh, man.
I wonder if they know what room it's in.
That I don't know.
Well, y'all tell us that next. Do they?
That I don't know.
Do they know what room the snake's
Probably
in?
not. I'm guessing they probably don't know. That snake's as big as your pinky. That thing can go anywhere.
They can get a little bigger than that.
Those things can go anywhere.
Yeah. That makes
the cats could find it too.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, they could.
They could.
They don't know what room it's in.
Oh no.
Yep.
Well, I've watched so many animal shows because of me, Carl, and some of them are snake shows, and you see in these countries, in these foreign countries, where they have cobras and black mambas, and they live in housing that's not sealed. And
Australia's got those brown snakes that are. That's a big problem.
I just can't imagine living somewhere like that where your house is not sealed.
Yeah.
And you know that the threat is real, and you have to sleep there every night.
But I got a great idea. It just came to me.
Not a sticky trap.
No, I mean this will be almost foolproof.
What?
You and my mama need to go to Lester's.
Oh yeah. I'm not the one shooting.
We just get Lester to pay for a ticket
for
you and my mama to go over there.
2 tickets. We'll be there in the morning. But I don't know how. I hope he's got a gun she can use, because she's not going to be able to board the plane with that shotgun.
She can check it, I think.
Oh.
And they can put it in the luggage and put it
really?
in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they can do that. So,
well, there's a plan.
Yeah, right there. You and my mama.
I sniff it out and Dean takes the shot. It's going to be good. This is gonna be good.
Man.
Wonder if they are on a slab or a crawl space.
It won't matter. Mom will still get it.
She doesn't discriminate on what kind of floor, does she?
No.
Oh, that's funny, y'all.
My glasses are fogging up.
That is funny. I bet Dee Dee could find it, though.
I bet Dee Dee could find it.
They have cats, don't they?
Yeah.
You would think the cats would go to
You
it.
would think. You would think.
Know. Y'all, Mary Carl got a new pair of skates, and she has been enjoying the concrete out front.
Mm-hmm.
They're rollerblades, and remember when we were so waiting on the slab to get finished of the house so she could skate?
That's right.
And she outgrew the skates before the slab got finished. And not that we couldn't have gotten her anymore. I think she kind of outgrew the idea at the time. But when I took the samples over to Dr. D, he lives over in the next big city, I also picked her up a pair of skates, a pair of rollerblades. And she's really, really been enjoying her skating.
She has.
She's only got a
little strawberry
elbow.
She's got a little strawberry.
But I never could skate. She and I were talking about it the other day, and I told her, I said, your daddy could skate backwards, forwards, upside, downside. And I couldn't do anything without the rail, without holding on to the rail.
Except I can't do limbo no more.
No, because you broke the pole.
I can no longer go to children's skating party.
That's right.
Can't play limbo no more.
You know what used to make me so nervous is the only time I ever went to the skating rink is when some kid had a birthday.
Yeah.
And they would have the birthday in the food section was separate.
Right.
And the food section didn't have any railing that you could hold on to. And the floor was slick. I mean, it was like tile or something. So when you fell on that floor, you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And I never made it to cake.
Oh, really?
No, because I couldn't get there. I'd have to undo all the shoestrings on the skates.
You know what they got? They got walkers now for the kids.
Jason, I'm an adult now.
I bet they got an adult walker for your skates too. They do. We didn't have that when we were kids. You just got knocked out.
That's right. I never left the guide rail.
Yeah.
Never left the guide rail. And she can skate backwards.
Yeah, she figured that out yesterday.
I mean, she's got it like this.
Yeah.
She just asked me a little while ago, Mama, can Piper come over soon?
She did.
I said, I don't know. Can she skate?
Oh, goodness. I saw somebody said that they know what you and my mama need to name y'all's pest control business.
What?
Sniff and Shoot Pest Control.
Sniff and Shoot. That's it. Sniff and Shoot.
Oh, goodness. Sniff and Shoot.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
They said Lester tried the cats.
Oh, he tried the cats.
He tried the cats, but the cats made a mess of their house.
Huh.
So,
I guess maybe we need to let him borrow our cats too.
You can take Dee Dee with you too.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness.
The other day Jason and I were going to the barn and we were on the side by side, and there's a water trough sitting out there that is being repaired.
Oh yeah. I do gotta fix that thing.
So up against that water trough, several weeks ago, Dee Dee had found her a big duck egg, and she had buried it at the end of that water trough because there was some dirt there. At that very moment, Dee Dee, Holly, and us were out there watching as Holly realized there was a little something sticking up, and she went over. She was thinking it was a toy of some sort.
That's right. And
she got Dee Dee's egg. And she took off with it. She wasn't planning on eating it like Dee Dee does, or burying it.
I've yet to see Dee Dee even eat
it. No, I haven't seen her do anything. But she just begs.
Buries them.
She buries them, and she begs to bring them in the house.
Yeah.
She stands at the door with an egg in her house, wanting us to let her in. But y'all should have seen the look on Dee Dee's face when she realized that Holly got the egg that she had buried there several weeks ago. It was just like the end times were coming. Because she got it. She took off with it. I mean, she was pouting. I wish I could have caught it on video because it's not funny me telling about it, but it was funny when it happened.
It was funny when it happened. Poor Dee Dee.
She loves her eggs.
Bless her heart.
She brings them to the door and just stands there. She doesn't set it on the mat. She doesn't do anything. She holds it in her mouth the entire time. And there's so many days that Jason will say, "Nope, Dee Dee, you're not bringing that egg in the house."
Because the first time she does, it's going to be a rotten one.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to explode in this house, and the house is going to stink for 2 weeks.
Well, you know as well as I do, one day she was carrying an egg, and we saw her, and it busted in her mouth. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it came out both sides. Well, I mean, she can't help it. Her teeth are, some of it. She has a few teeth, but they hit it just right, and they're going to bust it.
Mm-hmm.
So she can't bring the egg in the house.
Especially if it's a rotten one. You just never know, too.
Well, and the places she gets them from
are probably rotten eggs.
Rotten eggs. She loves her some eggs.
Oh, my goodness.
And I have yet to figure out what she's attracted to about eggs.
I don't know what it is either. I have no idea.
No other dogs here go after eggs.
Not like that.
Not like that.
She's like a heat-seeking missile.
I mean, I saw her a few minutes ago when I looked out there. She was in that pasture, in that first pasture, and she can scoot up under that gate.
Yep.
And I guarantee you that's what she was doing. She was going looking for an egg.
I said Lester's treaty took off with 2 duck eggs. If Loretta could get her hands on some.
Yeah, I always think to myself, we don't have to worry about duck nest where the porta huts are.
Not getting in there.
You know, the ducks hang out a lot in Loretta and Gus's pen.
Yeah.
But they learn real quick. If they lay eggs, they disappear.
Yep.
She might not. Well, I guess she couldn't hear them in her hut, but she could see them.
Oh yeah.
I think her vision makes up for her hearing.
She can see pretty good, and she can smell. Oh my great! Pigs just got an excellent sense of smell. I can, of course, Loretta can't hear, but she'll see me and she'll turn her head. Oh, I'll tell you what I have done. I got to catch this on camera. Her and Gus are asleep, and I could have a treat or just a treat, some watermelon or something, and I can throw a little piece out there. Now, granted, she's asleep, so her eyes are closed and she can't hear. And it can be 3 foot from her. And within 30 seconds, she's up.
Because she smells it?
She smells it.
Huh.
Yeah, great sense of smell. That's why they use them to hunt truffles with.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep,
well, I fed this morning, and I must say that they can be doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And, Gus, of course, he knows I'm in there. But Loretta, it takes her a minute. She can be rooting away, and until she actually sees me, she doesn't know I'm in there. It's kind of sad. It really is. But, Peaches, at one point, Peaches got so fat at our old place that we did not think she could see.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her lack of vision. It was the fat covering the folds of the fat covering her eyes.
Yep.
And, we weren't measuring her food out then.
Correct.
And my mama, she thinks everything needs an extra something.
She would give her some treats.
She'd give her some treats, and she got kind of overweight.
Yeah,
but
potbelly pigs can get overweight quick.
Their food has to be measured out.
And plus Peaches was free ranging, so she was racking up on acorns and hickory nuts.
And then we were getting produce at the time, old produce from the grocery store. Yeah. And so, I mean, she'd run the chickens and whatever off.
Right.
Not to say vegetables are bad for them, but they need to be kept in moderation, just like anything else. Yeah,
the fruit's what gets them. Yeah. You have to be careful with the fruit.
But it was fruits and vegetables.
Right, so. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, we had it going on when we used to go get that old produce.
We did.
It was like the first thing that I did after I dropped Mary Carl off from school.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Carl told me yesterday, Mama, if you had to go to a job, you'd be sitting in the parking lot 30 minutes before your work opened for you to go in, because I'm always
You're an early person.
I'm always early.
You're a very early person.
And I was always at the grocery store before they opened.
Yep.
And I would sit in the parking lot until I saw the produce guy go in and go get the old produce that was going to be thrown out anyway.
Going to be thrown out anyways.
And a lot of it was, I mean, it's not like anything was moldy or would hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it looked fine, but the produce manager knew how long it, had been on the shelf and didn't want to attempt selling it. So
right.
We went through quite a bit of it, and it was nice to have it.
It was nice to have it at the time.
And that hadn't contributed to Peaches being a big fat girl.
It did. And then of course she got stopped up, constipated, and then
she had to go to Auburn.
And then they told us how to feed her properly.
Yes, she literally gets a pint of food every day, and it's not every potbelly pig needs mineral oil, but in Peach's case, she did.
She did, and they told us to always put it on her food.
Yes, and always wet it.
Always wet it.
So, Misty Dome Farm, Amy, she told us that Cooney's food does not need to be wet,
right?
And so we don't do it.
I do.
I saw you wet their food the other day.
I always wet their food,
and I thought I don't ever wet their food. So I wonder if they prefer it wet or not.
I don't know.
Well, you ask them, okay?
I'll ask them.
See what they say. I think Peaches prefers hers wet.
I think so too. Now I do give. Now Peaches' vitamin goes in her thing, but Gus and Loretta, they'll each get their vitamin. And Gus now he got where he takes it like a man. At one point there, Gus got where he was turning his nose up at me.
Well, when you said that on the live, that Goretta. That's Gus and Loretta combined. Yeah. When you said that Loretta would actually take the vitamin out of your hand, I thought, well, I'll try that. And so now I give her the vitamin in my hand.
The only thing is Loretta's really gentle, believe it or not.
He's not.
Gus is not.
No, I like to put his in the bowl.
you have to be careful with Gus.
I like to put his in the bowl.
He does not. Loretta can just.
She's very gentle.
She takes it, but Gus is.
It's almost like Loretta's teeth come down on it like that, and just very gently. Not Gus, but for some reason, Gus bites the fence too.
Yeah, I don't know why he bites the fence.
It's something he's done since he got here. He'll grab hold of the fence.
No way good about that.
Just
that's the only one we're feeding.
Yeah.
When we're not feeding, he don't do that. No. I think he does it because he's wanting the food. He's anxious and he's wanting to eat. So.
I think so too. But that gives me the not have the confidence to put that vitamin in his mouth. I think to myself, he'll chomp down on that fence. You think of what he could do to my hand. He wouldn't do it being ugly.
No, he's not doing it being ugly. He can't tell.
No.
Loretta can.
Yeah, she's so gentle.
I tell you what I do. This is what I do with Loretta, and it's funny. So when I give Loretta sees me, and I hate that she does. It's a habit that I don't like she does. But she stands up on her hind legs.
She does on the gate.
And stands up there up on the gate or on the H post and stands there and looks at you. Which is pretty athletic for a pig, if you ask me.
Yes.
But I will take her vitamin, and she knows it too. And she does her little, she goes, and opens up her mouth, and I just drop it in.
Yep. She's very gentle and very ladylike.
She knows what's going to happen when I go out there. She stands up on there and just boop, gets her little vitamin.
Well, you know as well as I do, every day when we go in there, you have to unlock the beaner clip that's on their gate.
Yeah.
And go in.
Yep.
And you have to lock it back.
Yep.
Because if not, they might escape. Not on purpose, because they jump on the gate.
Yep.
I told Loretta this morning, I said, girl, one day I'm not going to clip that beaner clip all the way, and you're going to be out of this fence before I get your food to you.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think we'd have any problem with her coming back, but
no, you got to worry about it.
It's just the fact that when she puts her feet up there, that's a lot of weight and a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure, but she's never gotten out.
Misty Dawn said Gus did the same thing over there.
Really? Bit the fence? How about
every
that?
Every time they would feed, he would bite the fence.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what he's doing.
I know what he's doing. He's telling you to hurry up.
Yeah, he's probably thinking.
He has zero patience.
When we give Loretta that vitamin before we give him his food, he probably really gets angry then.
Zero patience.
Hurry up already.
I got to video that. I have to video Loretta and her vitamin trick.
Yeah.
She sits up there.
I think she looks forward to it.
I think so too, because they are kind of sweet. I mean, it's the children's vitamin, and
that's
it's the hard
something
ones.
that you either liked when you were little or you didn't like. The Flintstone.
Yeah. And I bet they taste different now than they did when we was a kid.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Because I liked them.
I did too.
But Mary Carl, do you remember when she was little? We got her the Flintstone vitamins. She did not like them. She did not like them.
She did not like them.
We ended up having to order her like 25 different kinds because she's like Jason. The taste of things just bother her.
Misty Dawn said also next time she's on her fence, count her toes. Well,
the trimmers counted them for her.
They did.
The hoof trimmers.
He was trimming Loretta's feet and said, well, I'm going to charge y'all extra for Loretta. And I was like, oh, goodness, something's wrong with Loretta.
And I said, oh, goodness, I've already got the check made out.
And he started laughing. He said, Loretta's got an extra toe.
We knew she was a special lady.
Oh, Loretta.
They are good pigs, though.
Yeah, they are good pigs.
We've had lots of pigs in the past, and not to say any of them were so-called bad, but they're just so tame and so easygoing.
They are easygoing.
And they get along very well.
Yeah.
Well, that's Peach's problem, though. She doesn't get along well with others. Her report card's got an X beside that.
I can always tell when I have a new viewer on the channel is because they want to know how come Peaches is not with the other pigs, or how come Peaches doesn't have a pig buddy. Peaches don't like pigs. She does not like pigs, period.
So recently, Mary Carl and I were in a store, and the guy was communicating with us that was helping us, and he was like, okay, so what do you do for a living? Talking to me, obviously, because Mary Carl doesn't, she's a student. And I said, oh, well, I kind of caught up in the tongue when somebody asked me that, because I don't want to be like, oh, we have a YouTube channel, and I feel uncomfortable saying that. So I always say we have a farm.
Right.
And so I say, we have a farm. He's like, oh, you have a farm. Well, what do you have on your farm? Instead of saying I have, 3 pigs, 2 emus, I say, well, we have a Peaches. And Mary Carl bust out laughing, and she said, Mama, nobody knows what a Peaches is but you. And it just came out. I was just like, well, we have a Peaches.
Oh, my goodness.
I kind of got tickled.
Oh, my goodness.
Thinking that he would know what a Peaches was, but we have a pig. Or 3.
Or 3.
Or 3.
Oh, Peaches. Peaches is going to be, I think, 9 this year.
Is that right?
She might be 9 already. Yep.
Well, I don't mean to knock the girl, but she just has a problem with other animals. Yep. She likes to be alone, and she wants what she wants when she wants it.
Yep.
And she wants that door open. And if you don't open it, then it's going to get tore up. You got to leave it cracked because she can do the rest of the work herself. But she was.
I caught her home. I got to find it. I caught her on video opening up the door.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So we crack it about this much. Because that way, if you shut it all the way, she can't do it because she takes her nose and she slides.
Gets mad.
Y'all, she gets mad.
She gets mad.
If we don't crack that door and she wants out, she gets. I'm thankful that we don't have a doorbell or something that she can ping our phone with, because it would go nonstop if we didn't have that door cracked open, because she is a mess. But if you'll crack that door just enough, she takes her nose and she goes, and opens that door right on up.
It goes right on out.
It goes right on out.
If y'all were able to see my video where I chopped the hay up and thought Nugget was laying the emu egg,
yep.
You saw Jessie peeking in that crack. And that's the crack that Peaches, Peaches can open the door. And she goes back in after she does her business.
But she don't shut the door.
She don't shut the door. So when we go in there after she's done her business, we shut it back and make the crack come back.
Yep, make the crack come back.
Rhymed.
It did rhyme, didn't it?
We shut it back and make the crack come back. But she is a mess. She will let you know. If that door wouldn't open and you pulled up in front of the barn, you'd hear her outside.
She bangs on it.
She does, constantly.
She takes that nose and she pushes on that door over and over and over again, letting you know, open this door.
She's a smart girl.
And she's the only one that can open it. The other one, none of the other animals can do it. No. None of them. And she's the only one.
So I believe what couldn't have been yesterday, because you fed yesterday. Day before yesterday, Mildred locked me up in Jessie and Honey's stall. So Jessie and Honey always take the longest to eat, and we stand out there and we wait on them to finish eating, because we don't want Mildred getting to their food, and we don't want the donkeys eating the cow feed. Blah blah blah. So Mildred finishes first, and the donkeys always have a little bit left when you open the gate. Mm-hmm. So I open the gate, and I grab the donkey's bowls, and at that time, here comes Miss Mildred, and she gets herself in that door, and that door is just as wide as she is. There's no way I could have got past her on this side or this side. You can't.
She blocks the whole road.
And I begged her to move. I said, please, Mildred.
She just sits there.
And I'm pushing on her. And she doesn't care how hard you're pushing on her. I'm not moving. Jessie and Honey are in the stall along with me. and we can't get out because Mildred won't move. I guarantee you we stayed in there 10 minutes waiting on her to finally decide it was time to move. She wasn't doing anything. She's just standing there.
She just stands there.
Blocking the road.
Yeah,
and of course, Jesse's getting mad. Jessie turns around and she loads up and she's like, goodness. If you don't get out of my way, I'm going to give it to you.
Yep.
Jesse's all bark and no bite because she really doesn't do anything.
She don't do anything.
Acts like she might. Now, I have never seen Honey do that.
Never seen Honey do it.
Never seen Honey do that.
Never seen Honey do it. But I've seen Jessie, and I've never seen Jessie full force like how Bruce Lee kick anybody either.
No, I haven't either.
She just swings them hips around. And every now and then she do this little half kick where and it's not even a half kick. It's just like that.
That's all it is. And I don't know what she's thinking when she does that.
I don't have a clue.
She, she does like a big wind up, but nothing comes out.
Nothing ever comes out.
And as small as she is, I don't guess too much could come out of it. But if you're standing behind her and she got, mad enough, I'm sure you'd find out real quick.
Yep. Well, it's a habit for me because we had horses. But anytime I walk behind any of them, I'm always up against them.
Right.
The cows too, but cows are not known to kick like that, but they can kick backwards. But horses and donkeys, they'll full-fledged kick back, and I'm sure mules the same way. So anytime I'll have to walk behind them, I'm always up against them because it was just a habit for us having horses. But if they were to try to kick, they couldn't get anything. They couldn't get enough juice back there because they don't have time to wind up. So if you ever try not to walk behind any, especially if you don't have any experience, but if you are walking behind a donkey or a horse or a mule, get as close as you can to them.
Well, I was pretty close to all three of them when they locked me up in that stall because it was the donkey stall and it's not the biggest of the, 4 that we have.
Yep.
It was pretty contained. I thought to myself, Mildred, I don't know what to tell you. I thought about crossing over the top, but I'm not as young as I used to be. So I thought that might not be a good idea.
I need to hang a camera up there facing down. I could have caught you crossing over the top.
I didn't cross over.
I know, but that would have been funny.
I sweet talked her into turning around and getting out of there. But I'm gonna tell y'all, Mildred is as wide as those doors, and coming in the barn.
Yeah.
I don't know how much wider she can get, but she's gonna get wedged in there if she keeps on.
I think she's done.
You think she's done?
I really do. I don't think she's going to get much bigger than she is.
She's not that. She's just a big girl.
Plus, she's a meat breed, too.
That's right. And whereas Moody's not. Moody's a dairy breed.
And that's y'all can see the difference between the two. Because those meat breed cows, even though both of them are pets, that meat breed, you say she's short and she's wide.
Yeah.
But Moody is tall and it's got those skinny hips.
You can see those hip bones, and that doesn't mean they're skinny.
Right.
That means that's
just how
their breed.
The dairy breeds are. They're total different animals. But yeah, she's the pure definition of a meat breed for sure.
She sure is.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably looks like a miniature on the camera to a lot of people because she's not that tall.
She's not very tall.
And I'm going to tell y'all, I have never, ever felt intimidated by Mildred. Ever. But she's a big girl. She's a big girl.
Yeah.
Not to say I let my guard down, but she doesn't scare me.
Right.
Moody scares me.
Right.
Just because probably because he has horns.
And he loves to sling the head when he gets... Mildred kind of does it a little bit, but not near as much as Moody does.
Mildred's more slow motion. Moody's a fast guy.
Moody, for some reason, he gets excited and he starts doing his head like this, and he could hit you. Even if he didn't have horns, it would hurt.
Oh, it would hurt.
Yeah, it would hurt.
And he can knock you pretty far.
It can. You got to be on your toes when you're around Moody.
So, anyway.
Yep. But he's a good boy, though.
He's a good boy. I'm not complaining about him at all. Yep. I'm just saying, I feel much more comfortable around Mildred than I do Moody.
Yeah.
And I think it's
I'm sure size is the main thing. I mean, it's night and day.
I mean, if I wanted to, I could get on top of Mildred from standing flat-footed.
Right.
Whereas there's no way you could do that with Moody.
And Moody, as big as he is, and y'all, he's huge. He could push the fence over. if he really wanted to hurt somebody or hurt anything, he could. But y'all, if he's over there and he gets too excited and starts slinging that head, and I have to tell him to get back, he gets his feelings hurt.
He does.
Bless his heart. But I mean, you have to, because you're gonna get hurt. You gotta,
Right.
you gotta tell Moody, whoa, now you got calm down. You gotta get back now.
Yeah, he does. He gets his feelings
And
hurt.
he will get us that big old 2,000 plus steer.
We're gonna have to weigh him.
Yeah, we've learned how to do that today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to do it because I have no
Yeah.
idea how much he weighs.
I have no idea either.
You know, I've been known to be a little off before.
Yeah.
You got in your mind what you think something weighs, and then
Mhm.
you could be totally wrong.
Somebody said that Moo, Lester and
Uh-huh.
Jake's Moo, he slings his head. So it may be a dairy breed
It
thing
may
or something.
be.
I don't know.
Or it may be that they're so big.
Because they're both the same. They're both Holstein mixes. And they both be, I don't know, they both might be pure Holsteins. I don't know.
Wonder if we could do a DNA test on Moody
I bet we could.
to
Have
find
to
out
look
if
into
he's
that.
100%. Not
But-
that it matters if he's 100%. He can't breed anything, so what difference does it make? But
It would be cool to know.
I would like to know. And
Because
I've
we know
never
what
thought
Mildred
about that.
is.
Yeah.
But we don't know what Moody is 100%.
That's
We
right.
know he's got Holstein in him. He's the color, the size. For sure he's Holstein, but I don't know what the rest of it might
That
be.
would be interesting to find out.
I wonder if we can do it just by swabbing his mouth, because I don't have to get blood.
I'm not getting blood. We'll let Catherine come do that.
Oh, Lester's afraid of frogs? Is he
Oh,
really?
no.
I mean, I finally am over my fear of mice.
Yeah.
They still,
Yeah, right.
but I'm not petrified. But rats, I'm still petrified of. So I get it.
Catherine said she'll do it. She'll draw Moody's blood. Catherine, are you aware that we don't have the head shoot ready yet?
If we had the head shoot ready, we could
Well,
do it.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I
we could
just-
do it. We could do it.
Anyway. Well, it's time. What's for dinner?
What is for dinner?
Guess.
Leftovers?
Leftovers. You're right.
Beef tips and rice.
Beef tips and rice. And I'll have to fix a little something else because
Yeah.
this is leftover from last night. And
we
guess what
had-
we had?
We had our broccoli last night.
We had our broccoli that has been preserved, and all I had to do was to spray some oil on it and put it in the air fryer with some salt and pepper. And y'all talk about good. That is some good eating.
It is.
The broccoli, the homegrown broccoli.
It is really good.
It preserves so well, and you don't have to do anything.
Nope.
It's ready already.
Ready already.
Once you put it in that air fryer.
I saw somebody say that they read, I don't know who it was, but they raised meat cattle and they would sling their heads too. So maybe just the cow thing. Mildred may be just not the norm.
Well, Mildred's never been with other cows, so
Yep.
goats don't sling their heads. So maybe she hasn't realized that she can do that yet.
Nope.
We got a lot to look forward to when she moves in with Moody. She's going to learn how to sling her
And
head.
I
too.
do want to say this.
What?
I do want to say this. And I think most people know, but if for some reason Mildred doesn't like being over there, we'll just swap her back. It's not that big a deal.
And
It's
y'all
just
know
a
what'll
gate.
happen?
It's just a gate in between.
We'll have to get Moody his own friend.
You won't be pouting about that,
I
would you?
sure wouldn't. I've always said that goats were my favorite. Goats were my favorite.
Yeah.
But now I'm torn. I'm torn between goats, cows, and
They're all my
donkeys.
favorite. You know what?
donkeys.
I don't think I got one.
Well, I can't have a favorite, but
I
I
really
sure
don't.
do love Mildred and Moody
Yeah.
and
love 'em too.
Jesse and Honey
Hmm.
and Fifi and Capri and Topper and Tipper. All of them.
Yep.
I love them all. I can't have a favorite, but I wouldn't mind having another cow. If it doesn't work out with Mildred and we can tell that, she's mourning or
Yeah.
he's
She'd rather
not-
be in other pasture.
if she'd rather be in the pasture. I
Yep.
mean, she's not going to tell us obviously, but
Yep.
her demeanor will tell us if she's where she wants to be.
That's right.
I do believe.
That's right.
So y'all know we'll take care of our animals. We're
I
not
saw-
going to do anything.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about that. I saw somebody say that Jake can lay down with Moo, his Moo,
Wow.
but I think Moo is a good bit older than Moody. Moody's still a puppy, y'all.
He's still a puppy.
He's 3. Can y'all believe that? I guess he's going on 4 this year. But we estimate because of the tooth. He's still losing teeth. He lost a tooth last year
That's
or year before
right.
last.
That's right.
So he still have baby teeth in there. So I think once Moody gets older, he will calm down a little bit. I think he's calming down a little bit now, but I think he'll get even calmer to the point where I can go out there and lay in the pasture with him.
Right.
Right now, he still wants to play a little bit.
And everybody that we've talked to that's a cattle farmer says once Moody and Mildred get together, we're going to realize how much they do need to be together.
We'll see.
We will see.
We will see.
Because I don't know what to expect myself.
Yep.
I mean, she could walk up and down that fence all day long and let us know she wants back in.
I honestly think that they're just going to be. I don't
grazing.
I don't think there's going to be. It won't matter. I really don't. I think when they get out there, they're just going to go out there and graze. I
don't know, because she spends so much time coming to the barn to see where we are, right, what we're doing, and so I don't know. It is yet to be seen.
We'll see.
We will
absolutely see.
We will figure it out. So, video tomorrow.
And Cheryl said, I think I said it right. It's gone now. It was her Aunt Liz's 90th birthday. So happy birthday, Aunt Liz.
Yes. And anybody else that's having a birthday, happy birthday. There's no way we could.
It goes by so fast. I have to show you guys what it looks like on our end.
I just hate for people to say or think we're missing them.
I just caught that one.
I know. But
I just caught it. I think I could read a teleprompter now. I probably could run for office.
You do that, Jason.
Oh, man.
You do that.
Oh,
I'm going to tell y'all, I haven't read one comment that's coming by. Not one.
I feel like I've gotten good at just kind of playing both now.
If I ever read them, though, my mind gets off track. I get my mind on something that I'm reading instead of something I'm thinking about, and it goes away. Well, so you got to go do your water challenge.
I got to go do the Lester water challenge.
What are you going to drink it out of?
I don't know. I don't know. I could pick any of them. Somebody was right. They said, don't grab the one the ducks have been drinking out of. You're probably right about that.
Well, you can't confirm they haven't drank out of any of them.
Oh, me, that's true.
But y'all will know if you see me at the ER later on.
Maybe I ought to take me a couple of Modiums before.
Well, I don't know that that's going to help with bacteria.
Oh, my goodness.
No, we're all good, y'all. So we'll be back here Saturday morning live.
Yep.
That's the plan. We always, anything could happen, but hopefully nothing.
That's right.
And you'll have a video tomorrow.
I will. So I'm pretty sure most of y'all may have already figured out what the video is about. But it is an update from the last video about the samples and taking them to Dr. D and him inspecting them for parasites.
And what he found.
And
what we did about it.
That's right.
Enough.
That's right.
Watch the video.
Y'all be good.